Open our hearts that we may hear thy voice, which constantly comes from within. Disclose to us thy divine light, which is hidden in our souls, that we may know and understand life better. Most merciful and compassionate God, give us thy great goodness. Teach us thy loving forgiveness. Raise us above the distinctions and differences which divide us. Send us the peace of thy divine spirit, and unite us all in thy perfect beauty.
In the Christian church, there is a tradition of evening prayer. And evening prayer starts out with a candle. When we light the candle, we say, Jesus Christ is the light of the world, the light no darkness can overcome. Stay with us, Lord, for it is evening, and the day is almost over. Let your light illumine the earth and cover the face of the earth. And so I light this candle for the light of Christ in our world, that light may bring peace and hope and joy to all people. And I sing this song. I love you, Lord, and I lift my heart to worship you, while my soul rejoice. Take joy, my King, in what you hear. May it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear.
深处就是一个很明亮，然后它这个灯呢，就是代表我们的众生的心灵被明亮的部分。那这个我们点亮它呢，就是代表让我们的心里面所有的无明全部显不掉，然后呢，就是变成了一个好像完全没有被遮住的太阳一般的，照亮所有的暗。
We also have a tradition of lighting a candle that symbolizes that there's this clear light nature in all of the beings within our heart, within our very core of existence. So by the ritual of lighting the candles, we are letting this clear light nature shining forth, thereby dispelling all the darkness of ignorance, and just like the sun has shone forth from an obscured sky, so there'll be no more darkness, and except the being becoming enlightened through their very nature.
然后呢，我们相信的这个灯呢，并不是有些人有，有些人没有，而是所有的众生，在我们的心里的深处都有这一盏灯。但是呢，依靠我们的修行，来把这个灯光展现出来，就好像现在这是灯，但是还没有点之前它还没有亮，当我点了以后，这个灯就亮了。
So this light exists in all beings. It's not like it's existing in certain being, but not the rest. It exists in all of us. And it is through the act of practice, symbolizing the act of lighting the candle, that will bring forth this clear light nature of all the beings.
然后呢，就是把他们的所有的污名，没有了，然后呢就走向光明。
So all the affliction and delusions caused by this ignorance are thereby dispelled, and we have attained enlightenment.
ask everyone here to share with one other person, to pair off with one other person, and share for a few minutes something from today that you want to carry with you. Can be anything, but something that came to you today, something that you heard that you feel you can incorporate, integrate into your life and bring. Okay? So, yeah, yes. Good. Okay.
Hello, dear.
Okay.
One thing we would take away.
Do you want to go first?
No. One thing I will take away is the atmosphere that's created by each of us who presents as we take the podium, or whether we're talking or whether we're chanting, whatever it is we're doing. The atmosphere that's so similar to everyone else's, and yet it has its own perfume, has its own flavor. I think what I will take away is a reaffirmation of the basic truth that when we ground our lives in spiritual principles, that life is good. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I feel that too. On a personal level, I will share that I love the songs of the Jewish tradition. I do too. I didn't find out till I was probably in my early 40s that my paternal grandmother is Jewish. And I said, I'm Jewish. And they said, you're half Jewish. Right. And I grew up as an Irish Catholic. I grew up in New York, which was a lot of Orthodox Jewish.
Sure. And where was she from, your grandmother?
Outside of Buffalo.
So she wasn't from Europe?
No.
You don't know where she was born?
You know what? Nobody ever talked about
Did
it.
she
It was
have,
like it was a bad
did she have
secret.
an accent?
I never knew her. She died in childbirth. Yeah, she
With
died
your
in
father?
childbirth with my father.
Oh, no wonder you never heard about it.
Yeah, I was in my 40s when I heard about it. But here was my mom. What year was kosher style restaurant in Buffalo? So she was always coming home speaking Yiddish, and I knew the whole. I just knew that. I knew that culture, and then I found out about it.
And so, what year was your father?
Somewhere around 1930.
So if he was born around 1930, then she was here already when the Holocaust started. Because Hitler came to power in 33, that's what I was checking.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, when some people, you know what, the rest of the family was Catholic,
And they probably thought there was some. I remember growing up in the 60s, and my friend Lee was Jewish, and her boyfriend was Italian. You don't date an Italian till you marry a good Jewish boy. I mean, you know what I mean? So it was like that in the 60s. It was even more deeply entrenched back when my grandfather, and you know this. So anyway, you kind of reawakened that spirit in me today.
I'm honored in the memory of your grandmother. What was her name?
I have no idea.
Is your father still alive? Well, whatever her name was, may her memory be a blessing. And all your Catholic relatives too?
Yeah, most of them are all gone. crazy? Nobody, I mean, like, nobody ever talked about it. Even my father, nobody ever talked about it.
It's crazy, and yet I hear that story so many times. And when did you come to this path?
About 9 years ago. Actually, in about 1976, when I was in Paris, I found a book on Raja Yoga. When I moved here in 81, I was really hapless for a long time. And as soon as I walked in here, I was like, this is the same as the book.
And that was about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me to see how the cycles go.
And where's the synagogue? The temple where you...
I actually was the founding rabbi of a synagogue in San Francisco that's been in a few different locations. We started out at Noe Valley Ministry on 23rd and Sanchez, and then we moved across from Laguna Honda Hospital over on Woodside.
By the Purple Churches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and the Church of Christ. And then now they're at 22nd and Quintard, and they're actually just about to move to what I think is going to be a permanent home with Congregation of Beth Israel Beyond Brotherhood Way. So it's just off 19th Avenue. But I actually am writing a book on the Holocaust. Doing this kind of teaching. My kids are grown now, so I have that freedom. And so I pray in a synagogue in Brooklyn. But my connection with the congregation I founded is still very strong. In fact, I was there this morning because we lost somebody, and so I was at that memorial. Yeah.
But you don't have to leave them.
No, and it's such a delight to be able to.
That's my newest transition. I don't have to leave the flock anymore.
Exactly. So I have other things I do that I love, but it's yeah, I don't have to. You're Leela, right? And where did you get that name?
I was given that spiritual name here by Swami Vimalananda. He only 4 or 5 years ago. My name is Linda.
Well, when I left home after high school, I was raised Jewish all the way, and then I went to college in Israel and continued my Judaism. And then when I came back after college, I started to explore beyond Judaism, and I studied Sufism, and I studied Theosophy, and I studied Buddhism. And then
I encourage you to just finish up your comments with each other. We'll come back
to
together.
Judaism, but I was very blessed to be in a school where I was able to bring with me the riches that I have elsewhere. So I feel very lucky that way.
That's wonderful. Are your parents still alive?
No, they both passed on. They're actually both buried in Israel. I was just visiting their graves.
They would probably love what you're doing now, you know?
You know, I think they would. I think they would. My father died 1.5 years before I became ordained, so he missed it. He missed my ministry. But my mother was alive for a good part of it, and eventually she died of Christ.
That's great.
So I wish to share with you.
Continued success and optimism in your path. Thank you very
Let's come back as a group. So, I'd like to take another page out of our kind of ceremonial tradition in yoga, where in the tradition of Bhakti Yoga, a final form of worship is to wave light. In other words, even though we use light as a symbol of that spirit that's within, we also offer light. And traditionally, this prayer, or arati, is done with everyone standing. So I'll ask you to stand. And some of you have bells.